All right, here we go for the first post-game edition of the hand raise guys. I forgot our name here for a second. Missouri 38, Ole Miss 27 tonight from Columbia. Neil and I here, drinks in hand. We've got water. We have alcohol too, it appears. So we'll be with you for a little while. We're going to talk about the game a little bit. We're going to take your calls here in a little bit if you have them as well. If you are a member at rebelgrove.com, I have put the number on the website. The number's there. It's pinned up top. Wait on us, though. Don't call right now. I will not answer. When we get time, though, call. We'll see what's up. I fixed my camera, too. It's looking better. I think we're in pretty good shape here. Seeing a lot of people in the chat. Got a lot of guys watching, so appreciate all you. Neil, have you even poured your alcohol yet? Is that what we're doing right now?
I'm about to pour now the McKenna. Let's see, in front of that camera here. The McKenna 10. Jay left the rest of his bottle.
That was J.G. Tate's gift last night, and here we are.
It was Jay's bottle. It's my bottle now. So, cheers.
Okay. You don't have to. You can do whatever. You don't have to drive home, and however long we do this here show.
No, it's about a 20-foot walk to the house. Be all right.
Okay. He's doing McKenna 10. I've got a bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof in front of me right now.
Yeah.
And then a bottle of water, too, because I'm trying to hydrate.
Yeah,
I'm very focused on the hydration tonight.
I have a bottle of the same Aquafina. I sort of feel like Ricky Bobby, advertise anything.
Well, you copied and stole my hat already.
Well, I look exceptionally bald on the pregame, and we do have a nice relationship with the fine people at Blue Delta Jeans, and so it's a nice hat.
So I gotta do a little pre-show here, I guess. Do you have that recorder when we're ready to finally record over there?
Oh,
ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, don't do it yet.
Okay.
I'll tell you when. But
okay.
I'm not a bourbon snob. I'm really not. I could be accused of that probably, but I'm seeing chat here. He's going with Evan Williams single barrel. Look, drink what you want to drink. I mean, if you want to have a bottle of Moscato in front of you, knock it out.
I like Evan Williams single barrel. Evan Williams single barrel is good. It's a solid. Especially for its price point, it's terrific.
I think that's one of the ones you've kind of talked about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. For the price point, it's excellent.
I think this camera's lagging again.
I ordered you a new one.
It's going to drive me insane.
Well, I ordered you a new one. It's on its way.
Okay. I think it's the camera. It might be me, though, because I did realize some of the settings were off. We were buffering. We were doing some different things, and it's all football talking here. We'll get to football. I'm not really worried about that. Yeah, we flipped the cameras around. I took the advice on that one. Neil is now, when we look at each other, it looks like we're actually looking at each other in the screen, not away from each other. We've got LSU Florida on the television in the Clark Ford studio. LSU, we're not ready to call yet.
We're not ready.
Taking the call yet.
Listening is hard.
Line not yet open is up on the burner phone up here, the hotline.
I was pulled within 5, which means that they are they're in a place to cover. It's been a pretty solid day at the palatial mansion.
So, what are you guys drinking? What are you doing? Kind of give me somebody really doesn't want to listen right now, do they?
No, you probably shouldn't have even put it up.
Just waited.
Yeah, expecting people to read and comprehend is a lot.
Yeah, I think you guys aren't seeing it right now. We've got people calling when they're not supposed to be calling.
We probably could even just stop saying that. Just hit the don't answer button.
Just keep hitting it over and over and over.
I don't think they're. Someone out there, tell us. Do you hear the phone ring when our phone rings? Do you hear it? I've never had Wild Turkey 101. Have
you not? Really?
I've never had it.
They're not hearing any of this. It's only in our headset when it rings. So
that's good.
That's fine. I have no problem with that.
I like Makers. Makers is good.
Okay, yeah, definitely no ring. Powerade, hydrating for the morning. I like that. Powerade or Powerade Zero. Gotta get that sugar out at this point of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, someone will be a long-time listener, first-time caller in a minute. There'll be a lot of truth to that when we start up in a second.
There it is.
So
we talking football yet?
Yeah, we can talk a little football.
Want me to hit the button?
Yeah, hit the button. Record this thing. Look, we have no technical difficulties. This thing will be a podcast too, but you'd rather listen to us and watch us and all whatever we're doing here.
For those who just joined, welcome into Hand Raise Guys. I just hit the record button. You missed the few minutes of pre-show. Ole Miss loses at Missouri tonight, 38-27. There's a lot to get to in this game. The first thing is Ole Miss kind of beat itself. That's my column that's up out front on rebelgrove.com. It's part of the Rivals Network. LSU just scored again. They go up
so
two
night
scores.
probably on that one. 5:40 to go.
Offensively, they are an elite team. Ole Miss had chances tonight. Ole Miss can. This is not one of those games where you lose and you get on the bus and you say, "Hey, they were better than us." They were a little better than Ole Miss. Not a lot, a little. They were certainly played a cleaner game of football than Ole Miss did. A holding penalty on Miles Battle was just a killer. Cost Ole Miss a touchdown. So that same drive, John Rice Plumlee fumbled. So that drive, which should have ended in points, did not. Ole Miss allowed Missouri to get past the chains, get a first down twice with late hits, roughing the passer, targeting Jaquez Jones, Tarikas Tisdale. I know there's a lot of – listen, I'm gonna be honest with you here. There are people in this media on this beat who absolutely inflame. I didn't think any of those calls – the call on Battle was 15 yards behind the play, yes. So you could not call it and it would be fine. But you can't – there was no reason to hook him right there in the line of vision. And I understand why the referee called the penalty. Agreed?
Yeah, it was really dumb. I mean, the two big plays of the game for me are both somewhat wide receiver induced because you had Battle on the penalty.
Yeah.
And then not criticizing necessarily, but Elijah Moore getting a hand on that ball late to cut it to one score. You lay out a little more there, I thought, and that it wasn't the worst throw in the world. It should have been hung up a little more. It should have been laid in a little better. But I did think that ball was somewhat catchable with a player the ability of Elijah Moore.
Yeah, you would have liked to see him lay out, see if he can get it. And then I thought the biggest play of the game was the last play, basically, of the first half. 12-7, Ole Miss at the half-yard line. I can't sit here and second guess and say I would have kicked a field goal because my initial reaction was I'd get the points.
I had no problem going for it, whatever. The only thing that I thought was, and I made this mention to you, Matt Luke's mentality, the identity that he wants for this team is very hard-nosed, very run the football, power football. That's not their identity right now because, frankly, their offensive line's not good enough. You know, the line has gotten a little better, but a lot of the success they've had running the football is because they have a very, very talented backfield. That's what's happening. I mean, you look at the Pro Football Focus numbers and forget the grades and stuff because everybody kind of gets focused, pardon the puns, too much on that with Pro Football Focus. A lot of their stuff, they really break down analytically, talking about yards after contact, talking about how you really break down some of these positions. Ole Miss is getting tons of yards after contact so far this season, and that's what you're seeing. Snoop Connor's done a nice job. Jerry Neely's done a nice job. You've got John Rice doing what he's doing at the quarterback position. Ole Miss is not built for that inside zone, just go at you, power, here we go, run it up the middle inside the 5-yard line. I would have liked more play differential there. I would like a little more selection. I thought that the play calling down on the goal line there was kind of poor, running the same thing over and over and over again. I have no problem with the fourth down call because if you get it, you really do take a lot into halftime and have a pretty good shot coming out of the break. So, yeah, I get taking points, but no, I'm not going to second-guess that other than maybe some play calling there.
Here's the proof of what you said. Ole Miss's rushing offense tonight. John Rice Plumlee, 23 carries for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's the 3 games in a row that he's run the ball now, I guess 25, 22, and 23 times. That's a lot, but he's successful on the ground with his feet. Scotty Phillips, 7 carries, 20 yards. Matt Corral, 3 carries, 18 yards. Snoop Connor, 5 carries for 10 yards. Jerry Neely, 6 carries for 10 yards. Elijah Moore, 1 carry for 3 yards. Passing, in case you're curious, Matt Corral, 10 of 16, 133 yards. John Rice Plumlee, 8 of 17, 103 yards, 2 interceptions. Neither guy threw a pick. Kelly Bryant for Missouri, 23 of 35, 329 yards, a TD and an interception. Kept a lot of plays alive with his feet. Larry Roundtree rushed 21 times for 126 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Downing had 6 carries for 70 yards. Beatty had 5 carries for 24 yards. Kelly Bryant, 10 carries for 14 yards. Missouri as a team rushed 43 times for 233 yards, threw for 329 yards. That's 500 and 560 yards of 560 plus yards of offense. You can talk about quarterbacks all you want. When you give up 560 yards of offense, it's going to be difficult to pull that off.
A week after Ole Miss, I think, missed 17 or 18 tackles. They did not tackle again well today. They didn't guard the middle of the field very well again today. Roundtree's a really special player. I like him a lot. I thought he did nice things. And I thought Kelly Bryant was just slippery enough. I think that was the adjective I used. And I thought that was right. Did Ole Miss pressure him the way they probably wanted to coming in? No, but he got out of a lot of things. He used his feet to extend the pocket a little bit. And frankly, when you have 5 or 6 seconds, especially against that Ole Miss secondary, there's going to be guys open down the middle of the field, and they took advantage of it. But it's a game Ole Miss easily could have won.
Sure.
It's a game that they shot themselves in the foot. They're going to look back if they don't get to 6 and look at this one because you've got the penalties, you've got the missed chances inside the 5, you've got all these different things where they easily could have had 17, 20 more points on this thing and won the game, but they didn't, and here they are. And next week it sets up another winnable game, but a very, very critical, if that's what you're looking for, game against Texas A&M next Saturday.
Yeah, if you're going bowling.
Yeah, right.
You got to win that game. Simple as that.
Seeing this on chat, yes, Jaquez Jones and Tariq Tisdale will be out in the first half next week. It was really tough luck on Jaquez. There's nothing you can do there. By definition, it is the right call. It puts a defender out to dry. I don't know how you get around doing what he did because, frankly, it was a pretty awkward slide on the behalf of Kelly Bryant.
The Tisdale play was stupid.
You just can't do it. The ball was out.
Yeah.
You could have held up or at least not lowered your helmet
right.
and lowered the crown. So,
yeah, you just can't do that. Simple as that. And in that spot, it's about to be 3rd and 6 from their own 3. You're only down 11 points. You have a chance right there to get the ball back and make things interesting. But when you give them a first down right there, you just shoot yourself in the foot. Just awful. We're getting a lot of questions about what to do with the quarterbacks. Man, I'm going to tell you, my thoughts are all over the place. In the first half, my thought was you've got to go to Corral. You just have to go to Corral. Plumlee was basically leaving points on the board with his arm. In the second half, Corral will make a couple of good throws, and then he makes a bad decision. Good play, bad decision. That's not how you win in the SEC, yet he's a redshirt freshman. He definitely, there's no debate about who has the better arm. Matt Corral has the better arm. Now, if the debate is who's the better quarterback, who's the one that the team responds best to, it appears to be Plumlee, and there are some things that Plumlee does that I think, well, he's got to be your guy. Build around him. He's a charismatic kid. The fans love him. The players like him, all that stuff. But if they're going to achieve at their highest level, whatever their peak is, he's got to become a better passer. He's got to become a better intermediate passer. He's got to become occasionally a better deep ball passer. He can't continue to underthrow every deep ball the way he did tonight, where he just floats balls in the air. He can't miss some of the throws that he's missing and expect an offense to achieve to max capacity. Yeah, he's one hell of a runner. He's a great athlete. He's gritty. Frankly, he's a smarter runner than Corral. Corral still, even though he's just coming off of an injury, wants to put his shoulder down and run over a linebacker. This is not Mater D or wherever he went to high school. This is the SEC. These are SEC athletes at linebacker, at safety, that come up, and you're not winning those Oklahoma drills, if you will. Not at this level. You've got to be smarter.
Yeah, you and I were watching. I'm not aware of a delay. I'm not sure if it is. I don't know at the moment. But we were watching the fourth quarter, and Plumlee is by far the better red zone option. There's not a doubt. He moves the ball in the red zone. He's pretty smart in the red zone. And his short to intermediate passing game is okay, and frankly, that's the one thing to me that has a chance to get better. I think that's the one that really, really can get better right now. So we'll see there. I don't mind the same 2 guys in one drive. I don't think you have to give the entire series or the entire drive to one quarterback, but you have to be smart about it. You have to have kind of a plan for it. It can't just be. I thought there was some haphazard to it right now, where it was, hey, it's just this guy's turn and this guy's turn, without really a look of the situation, what was going on the field, and kind of how best to suit them. Because there's no doubt Plumlee's better the closer you get to the goal line, and Corral has the ability to at least kind of take the top off a little bit and expand the defense. Because with Plumlee up and down the field, you feel like you're just, I said this, I feel like you're constantly in third down. Because unless you break something, you get 3 or 4, you get 2 or 3, and it's on schedule, but it just feels like it's very station to station a little bit. You're not hitting the double off the wall as much unless you break a run. So I do think both quarterbacks can be used, and it's just a deal where you just need a plan for it. You need to figure out the best way to use them in a pragmatic way, not a haphazard way.
People ask who's the best quarterback to lead this team right now. Plumlee. Long term, I don't know yet. Plumlee's got to become a better passer. At the risk of even delving into this at all, if Plumlee's going to be the leader of this team, and I can't believe I'm getting ready to say this out loud, I'm going to hate myself for this. I hate myself for the thought as I'm saying it. He probably needs to abandon the baseball thing and really focus on football. If he's going to be the full-time quarterback at an SEC level, he needs all of the passing experience and decision-making experience in the passing game that he can possibly get. Now, he might be smart enough to do both and mix it up. I just know what the demands of an SEC baseball player are in March and April, and it's pretty intense.
Yeah, especially if, like you said, if you're the starting quarterback, if you're definitely the apparent, if it's going to be your program, you've got a lot of leadership to do. You got a lot of off-season to do. I mean, it's one thing to tinker with it if you're just another guy. It's a whole different deal if it's your program and you are the guy. And frankly, look, the starting quarterback, it's their program. So I think it's an interesting thing.
I'm already mad at myself for saying that. I'm having a hard time arguing with myself about it right now.
You are?
A little bit. I mean, I firmly believe that he's a young guy, and if he wants to play two sports and he's good enough to play two sports, he ought to, by God, play two sports. That being said, he's not a polished enough quarterback right now to maybe do both. We'll see. He does a lot of things really well.
It's a lot of quarterbacks. I mean, they've got a lot of guys that actually, frankly, are pretty talented. You've got Kincaid Den, who did a pretty good job before he got injured. Grant Tisdale, I don't know what the situation with him. I mean, you know he's at least unhappy about the amount of reps to this point, given what he did in fall camp. And I'm not starting something. I'm just simply saying any competitor, any player is going to be unhappy with that situation.
I'll be surprised if he's here next year.
Yeah, and then Robbie Ashford's coming in next season, barring a baseball thing, obviously.
Our friend Avery Forbes says, I feel badly for Ely, how many touches he's getting. I don't get it. I don't understand why Scotty Phillips isn't getting more touches. I don't understand why Jerry and Ely's not getting more touches. A lot of it is because all the touches are going to the quarterbacks running the ball.
And a lot of that's because they're running those reads, and depending on what the look they get, it's predetermined, and they're not giving the ball to the running back.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of the reason.
And on one of those mesh plays tonight that ended in a fumble, he held the ball too long. But for the most part, he handles that really well. So I'm not expecting him to be 100% perfect there.
We'll open up the line in a second. Let me work on that. Give me a second more, and then we'll get to that.
You're nervous about taking calls?
I'm nervous just because of the experience I've had over the last, let's say, 15 hours from a Skype standpoint. That is why I'm nervous.
Yeah.
It has nothing really to do with taking the call or anything. I mean, I can always hang up. So if somebody wants to, be a jerk or something, we can always hit the line. We're not seen by the FCC, so
it's a lot different than it was back in my days in Mobile, where you'd say, phone lines are now open, 694-1055. There we go.
That did not take very long.
There's your first call.
All right.
So we're going to take the call now. Let you guys sort of know how this is going to work. When we take your call, you're going to have to wait 2 or 3 seconds and let us kind of make you live, if you will. So, hello, caller. Welcome into the show.
They can't hear the whole thing yet. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, we got to work out a little kink here. Hang tight there, caller. What's your name, by the way? All right, Jonathan. What's up?
Hold on. I'm not ready yet. I had a little problem.
Oh, you got an issue?
It's going to be here.
Yeah, we're good. No, we're all fine.
All right, there we go. Go ahead.
Excuse to drink. Go ahead, Jonathan. Welcome to Hand Raise.
Yeah, just had a question. Moving forward with this Rebel offense, who do you think would be the better option, John Rice or Matt Corral?
Yeah, it's kind of what we were just saying. I mean, I think right now it's probably Plumlee. Long term, I've got to see. I have to, and something Rich Rodriguez says every Monday that I think bears repeating. It sounds cliche, but it's not, okay? And these are freshmen. These are freshman quarterbacks. These are players that are playing for the first time. I know people talk about Corral as if he's some sort of veteran, and he's not. He played very sparingly last season. He played meaningful snaps in one game, and in that game, two things. One, the game was out of hand when he came into the game, and two, he got into a fist fight very early on in that game. So he wasn't himself. And the other games that he played, he either played sparingly or it was makeup, clean up at the end of a game. And then with Plumlee, he was in high school a year ago. It's hard to completely, make sweeping long-term judgments on either one of these guys right now. Got anything else, Jonathan? Is he gone?
I think he's gone.
Jonathan's gone.
Yeah, okay. Quarterbacks are going to carry us through the entire season, Neil. That's what's going to happen. We're going to talk quarterbacks for 12 weeks, the entire offseason. We're going to talk about Robbie Ashford. We're going to have to discuss it. It's going to be back another one of those deals where I analyze a football player for the draft for a minute, too.
Yeah. It's also going to be one
All right, I'm answering this right now.
Okay. It's also going to be one of those stories that we're talking about. We'll have to start talking about the transfer portal at the end of the season, whether it's real or not. It's going to be the topic of the spring. It's going to be something we talk about a lot, which is typical for a college football program. There's a lot of quarterback talk.
Who's with us right now? Who do we got on the line?
Oh, hey, it's Cooper.
What's up, Cooper?
Sorry, I'm watching it and it's on a delay, so threw me off for a second.
The delay probably might get you a little bit. Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
really think about that.
Probably have to mute your computer for a minute.
So what'd you think about the game?
Well, I cannot decide on Corral or John Rice, and so I'm just going to go with John Rice. I think he's covered in every single game that he's played. So, I mean, that's the decision maker for me right now. He's doing well in that department, and I know he's making some people some money.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one reason. I don't know. I'll be interested to see this week coming up what they do. Texas A&M's defense is a lot like Missouri's, frankly, where they're pretty good against the run, and there's no doubt which guy gives you. There's no doubt which guy gives you a better chance in the air. Yet, so much of Corral's issue is that it's just decision making at times. Yet, he had not played in a couple of weeks. It's possible he was rusty today. I don't know. I thought he did some good things, and then I thought the whole third quarter, virtually everybody was struggling, offense and defense.
Yeah, I wish we would have some. I mean, it feels like we've recruited great quarterbacks, or at least pretty good quarterbacks the last 4 or 5 years in a row, which I don't know how many people can say that. And with Robbie Ashford coming in, it doesn't look like it's going to get any tougher to make a decision. I just don't know what to do.
That is really a credit to Ole Miss right now. In all seriousness, they've had guys that have accomplished exactly kind of what they needed to accomplish for a number of time. I mean, we mentioned this on a message board, or from a message board post minutes ago. Jordan Thomo is the quarterback right now. They have a really good shot of being 5-1. Obviously, Chad Kelly with Shea Patterson, you at least had the number one quarterback in the nation coming out of high school. Bo Wallace, we've talked about him forever. This is the first time they sort of had this weird transition in a long time, frankly, since the Houston Nutt era and the crazy year where they had no quarterbacks because they had 3 with Mackey and Stout and whomever else I'm forgetting at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, it's just it's a deal where this is going to continue. I think you have to use them both situationally and figure it out. So, anyway, appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Big play here in Florida, LSU, as it pertains to, speaking of betting, big play as it pertains to the money line right here for Florida. A touchdown covers.
Down 14. They're
4th and goal at the 2-yard line. Oh, and they run the little option, and Trask does not score. LSU will win this game 42-28. LSU is legit. That is bottom line. A loss for Florida, and you wake up tomorrow morning. Missouri's not good enough to win the East, but they wake up with a lot to play for.
Who's on the call now?
Hey, guys. This is Ole Miss Cub. I just have a real quick comment and question. How come they don't ever, on the goal line plays, why don't they ever do the Drew Brees thing where they just jump and extend the ball? I mean, I saw John Rice plummetly jump over a dude's head against Alabama. I mean, it just seems like it'd be so easy to just jump and extend it. That's kind of a hard play to beat, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't like the timeout. Why are you calling a timeout right there so that you can run the ball up the middle? Chase came in and he had a great point. He got back here probably late third quarter, early fourth quarter, and we were talking about that play for a second. And he said they're trying to be a personality that they don't have the personnel to be. And they're trying to be this team that can smash mouth you, because I think that's, it's kind of in the pregame show. I don't know if you were listening. We were talking about Ed Orgeron, how this was a test for him tonight, because everything in his DNA is to be smash mouth, super physical, almost this Big Ten on steroids style of football. And yet that's not what wins for them. And that's been proven over the years. And now they're about to be 6-0 and second or third in the country, and it's because he has allowed his team to take on the personality that best fits the personnel. And I'm not sure that Matt Luke and Rich Rodriguez with this particular team are there yet. They keep trying to make this team be something that it doesn't seem fit to be.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of with Hugh Freeze, in the A&M game, and we were in the shotgun. It's like, at the end of the game, it's like all we needed to do was 1 yard. Bo Wallace is pretty big; he could just fall forward almost. But these coaches, sometimes it feels like that they're so smart they have to do it their way, and it's to the detriment of the team. But whatever, guys, I love it, and I'm gonna hang up. Good show, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Still the most pissed off RebelGrove.com message board hour in the history that really since anything I can remember there. So
Texas A&M.
Yeah, yeah. 1 second. I'm going to only answer this call. We'll finish that out. Hold on 1 second, caller, while we're bringing you in.
Yeah, LSU finishing it off right here. They're like we said, they're gonna win 42-28. So, hey, caller, who are you? Who's with us?
Hey, this is O'Keefe Grady from Jackson.
Hey, O'Keefe, how are you?
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Good.
I was just wondering. I think that Corral is the screwball and not Plumlee. What are your thoughts?
In what way? How's he a screwball? I'm not necessarily.
Well, I think that he's the change-up, I guess, put it in baseball terms. You see what I'm saying? Plumlee runs the offense, and Plumlee comes in every once in a while. But I think inside the 30, you have to play Plumlee.
Yeah, we kind of had that thought earlier on the show. I think from a red zone standpoint, Plumlee with intermediate passing, short passing, and the way he runs the football, there's no doubt that he's the better the better option right there with that. I think that's 100% true.
And look, Chase, let me ask you this. What about screen passes? Don't you think that we have to hit Ely on screen passes?
Well, anything to get him out in space. He's not getting enough overall touches, period, right now is the big thing. I don't even care how you get him the ball. Just get him something out in space, get him out on the perimeter. Because, you do have a really, really good one, too, really for getting Scotty, because Scotty's become a little non-existent right now for the most part, in my opinion. At least when you're watching it, he's not in the flow of the game at all. They're using Connor inside. He's going to be – Snoop Connor's going to be an NFL running back, and he's more of an inside-the-tackles guy. But anything to get Ely the ball outside, anything to kind of – because I thought – what was maybe the thing lost there was Rich Rod's best play call of the day was on that Miles Battle hold on the thing with a fake reverse, getting some things out in space, getting guys moving in one direction, going back the other way, and then it got completely washed out right there, so we're not talking about it as much. What are you laughing about, Neil?
And don't you think Plumlee at the goal line before halftime was a mistake? Not having him in the game.
Yeah, I thought that they were trying to give Corral that entire drive just to give it to him, but I agree. I would have reverted back to Plumlee there at that point.
Agreed. Hey, Corey Addy says hello, Chase.
Okay, tell him hello. I saw a text. I'm a little busy at the moment. There's not much I can do about it.
Someone brought up Scott.
I understand, brother. We appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Someone brought up Scott Hunter. Scott Hunter, the former Alabama quarterback. Scott Hunter, when he was he had a show in Mobile called Talking Football. He'd say, "Welcome into the show, caller. You're on Talking Football."
Is that really what it was called?
Yeah, and in the spring, it was called Talking Spring Football.
Talking Spring
Football. Brought to you by the Captain's Table. Tell them Scott sent you and get you one of those juicy steaks.
Who's on the line?
Hey, this is Joe. What's up, guys?
What's up, Joe?
Quick comment on everything, man. First of all, thank y'all for doing this. Enjoying it so far. Enjoyed it pregame a little bit too. So it looks like y'all are working your bourbon through and trying to enjoy this. So I appreciate you doing it. my comments basically are, personally, it just seems to me like the whole time, Matt Corral was brought here to be a Phil Longo passing quarterback to the NWO and big, strong, fast wide receivers, strong arm guy, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's just a square peg with a round hole with Rich Rod's offense, which I hate because I think Matt Corral's got the arm talent and I think he's got a lot of ability and I think he's going to be a really good quarterback somewhere. But as long as Rich Rod's here, I can't see this offense taking off, with Matt in that position. And that's nothing against Matt Corral because he's clearly so far, he has so much more arm talent than Plumlee. It's really not even a discussion. But as long as Rich Rod's here and we're going to run this type of offense, which personally I don't think this is the type of offense that, that's going to get us to where we need to be. I'm not sure if anybody been a Rebel fan for like 30 or 40 years, this run over people and this power run game. I mean, we have tried that, many different times and coaches, and it seems to me like Hugh Freeze was on the right track till he got off the right track with the way to go. So I'll hang up and listen, guys. But it just seems to me like Corral. I feel bad for Corral because he's basically in a kind of a square peg round hole situation to me. That he didn't come here to run Rich Rod's offense, and I don't know. It just seems like the whole program needs a you need a system that you're going to coach to, and it seems like Matt has got to go with somebody else's system because he doesn't have one. But anyway, I'll hang up and listen to you guys' thoughts again. Thank y'all for doing this.
Thank you.
I don't completely disagree with any of that.
No, look, it's been a very uneven situation for Matt Corral. It's not what he came in to do. And look, I mean, the rib injury, it gave Plumlee the opportunity. I mean, yeah, this thing has not gone for Corral the way that most people anticipated. There's no doubt about that no matter what. So
when it does that we're getting multiple calls?
Yeah, we're getting people can't hear this. We're actually getting multiple calls at once. I'll just take one of them. We'll see what happens. Hold on 1 second.
Because it sounds like 12 Skype calls all at once.
Yeah, it's like shotguns going off right now in our ear. So
hold on one second, caller. Hang tight 1 second. We're not gonna do the every time Hugh Freeze's name comes up we have to drink game because that.
Again, I've got to get home at some point. Yeah. So.
Did the caller hang up?
No. I had to hang up another call.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's on the line with us?
Hey guys, it's Webb. How are y'all?
Hey Webb, what's up?
Doing well. So. One question, Neil. Are you going to do the hospital bed for Halloween, of course? So, and I listen to you guys a whole lot in DC. I'm in the military, so.
Oh, we appreciate it.
23 years.
Thank
it's been
you for
great.
your service.
Thanks, guys. But quick question. How do you think we're going to fare against State after seeing them and everything? They looked horrible today.
Yeah, they did.
I think we're going to beat them in the Egg Bowl. And I'll hang up and thank you guys. I'll support your sponsors. I got my Blue Delta jeans, and Jason sent me all these socks from Dead Soxy.
Awesome.
So just wanted, So I hope you guys do well, and y'all have a great evening.
Thank you. Absolutely.
I watched a lot of Mississippi
Bye.
State. Tennessee today. Kind of saw it coming. I think you picked Tennessee to win.
I did. Well, and here's my thing. I left that score out. I accidentally skipped over it. And Neil, the good Samaritan that he was, called me and goes, "Hey, you did not put a score in for the Bulldogs and the Volunteers. What would you like that score to be? What would you like to do?" And we added it in. And I think you even wrote the paragraph for me. I think I said just write something in.
Yeah, I did. They look eminently beatable right now. Now Ole Miss has to do some things to improve. Look, I think Ole Miss is going to beat New Mexico State. I think it's going to lose to LSU. I think it's probably going to lose to Auburn. I think it can beat A&M on Saturday, and then I don't know. I get this funny feeling that's where we're headed. 5-6 going to Starkville with just lots of intensity and stuff.
Where are they getting the 5? Who are they getting?
Well, they could beat A&M Saturday. I watched some of A&M today too. They're fine.
Who are we talking to, caller?
Guys, this is Ole Miss Banker. What's going on?
What's up, Bank?
Listen, I have no game analysis, so check this out. I'm sitting in my recliner. I'm watching us lose. Clock's ticking down. And all of a sudden, bang, bang, I got 2 gunshots right outside my door. right? So I live in an apartment building in the Jackson area, and we're up on the top floor. So I grab my wife. She's sitting on the couch. I run her here into the bedroom, set her in the closet. I grab my pistol. I load it, and we're just kind of barricaded up in here. We call 911. We get a pretty good response time. Come to find out, it's the people below us. It's a husband and wife issue, evidently. You got to talk to a deputy a second ago. So the story was the husband is trying to
keep going. Here we go.
Hold on. Give me the details.
What you mean?
Keep going. We're in. Yeah. We're all in.
No. So evidently the husband was trying to charge at the wife, right? So he's up on our level. He's on the third level. And he's trying to go down the stairs. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like there's several stairs because it's multiple levels. It's not just 2 levels. But turns out the dude was standing right in front of our door when the gunshots were fired. So she's outside shooting up the stairs, and she shoots him. So I did overhear the deputy say that. So he got hit. He got tagged with one, and the other one missed him. But you look right outside my door, and there's a freaking bullet hole, like right outside our door. So I don't know where the guy is or trying to find him right now. But anyway, I mean, here I am just watching us lose another game, and then all of a sudden all hell kind of breaks loose there. But anyway, I think we should stick with Corral. And
so you might have a killer on the loose, and you're on this Potato Log Hand Raised Guys podcast.
I had to let you know, man. I had to let you know. Here's my priority. I call the police first. I call the apartment second, and I call Rebel Grove third, man.
That's awesome. Well, stay safe.
Stay barricaded in.
Yeah.
Hotty toddy guys, let's beat A&M.
Thanks. This reminds me. Everybody chill the calls. I'll get to you in a second. I only have 4 coming in right now at the same time. We need to get Jay to tell this story. Do you remember when there was that guy who got holed up in the apartment or in the attic of somebody's house in Auburn? He covered this as a news thing.
I remember that.
This is several years ago. This has been a while, but it was a crazy deal that went on forever. Like they were trying to stake him out and wait him out and whatever. And he was in somebody's attic for hours.
That was the guy that shot the Auburn football player or something? Is that right?
There was a football. Yeah.
Seems like it.
Is that why Jay was involved with that, I guess?
Seems like that was the reason. I can't keep up with all of it.
You can't? Yeah, we need to get him to tell that story, preferably with a drink or two in him at that point. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, this one's going to get in this time. Okay. We've seen this number a couple times already, so we'll see what's going on there. Hold on 1 second, caller.
What's your name?
Phil.
What's up, Roy?
Not much, man. How y'all doing?
We're good. We're good.
Nobody was shooting outside your door tonight, right?
No, there wasn't nobody shooting out here, man. I'm living in Huntsville, Alabama, so I'm pretty safe for an Ole Miss guy.
What'd you think of the game? What we got?
Well, it was a lot of missed opportunities out there and everything. I thought Corral came in and missed that one shot downfield and everything, but I just wanted to ask you guys what you think about the quarterback situation. Who would you pick? Who would you pick as the quarterback for Ole Miss far as what they need to do and the position in general?
Hey, thanks for the call, Roy. I don't know.
I still think I play on both. We've been over this a couple times, but I do. I think I'm playing on both.
Like I wrote in my column, I don't think that
neither one of them has emerged enough for me to completely give up on anybody at this point.
Neither one of them did a stranglehold on the job today.
All right, another call coming in. You guys are... Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, 1 second.
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Allie. I live in Mills, old stomping grounds in Spanish Fort outside of Mobile.
Hey, Allie.
And I'm one of the 4%.
8%.
Hi.
But it's all good. How are you?
8%.
8%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Chase likes 4%, but I've seen that number grow, and
I don't know why I keep saying 4%. We're trademarking it at this point.
it makes
I think
me
is what
feel
it
a
is.
lot better to say 8% than it does 4%, and it's more accurate.
I'm proud of that, you know.
I know. What's up in Spanish Fort?
Not much. First of all, I was wondering why Chase keeps sipping on that water and not the whiskey.
I have to drive home tonight. At some point I've got to hydrate a little bit. I've got to mix it up a little bit. I can't sleep in Neil's floor tonight. That's the goal, is to find a way at some point to actually go home.
Well, you could sleep.
Is
on the
Uber
floor.
not a thing in Oxford
It
still?
is.
Yeah, you could catch an Uber.
I could come get my car tomorrow.
You could.
I guess.
Come
I'll do better. I'll take you under advisement.
Okay, but mostly why I was calling was to let y'all know that my mom and I'm 26, we think Neil is pretty good looking, so we feel like he should probably chill out on the self-esteem issue.
I appreciate that.
McCrady's turning red over here. I really appreciate this call.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be my favorite caller, even after the guy that was getting shot up a minutes ago. This is pretty good.
You're
so,
the one getting top 40 under 40 or whatever it was.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got something too, apparently, so it's fine.
I got top 5,000 under 5,000.
Is that what it
Yeah,
was?
that's what it was.
So you and your mother had this discussion about Neil's appearance?
We did. My mom's in town, and we are watching the show, and I said, do you think the guy on the left is a bad-looking dude? And she was like, no, I think he's pretty cute. I said, me too. So we just wanted to let you know you shouldn't be so harsh on yourself.
Well, thanks, Allie. I appreciate that.
And we're not getting shot up here in Spanish Fort. We don't live in Mobile. So
No, I'm well familiar with the parts of Mobile / Spanish Fort / Baldwin County that you can get a little more dangerous than others. Let's put it that way.
yes. Well, y'all have a good night.
You too.
So how do we take this? Is it completely a compliment? I mean, or is it a deal where you're just I don't know. I'm really at a loss here for a
So
second.
the last
Mr.
one I
McCrary.
got was that I looked like Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Well, I mean, that's Batman, Neil.
Yeah,
You look like Batman?
but I think it's just the bald thing, because I get the Bruce Willis stuff sometimes, but more than that, it's Michael Keaton.
Okay. Next caller. Hold on one second. We'll get you in.
Yeah, you got to turn your because you got a little delay, so you got to basically turn your radio down, if you will, whatever you're listening to.
We just did it. You good?
Yeah,
We're all good.
What's your name?
Hey, this is Bob in Bogachita.
What's up, Bob?
I'm all right. How y'all doing?
We're good.
I just got to ask. I mean, what's going on with Mississippi State?
They're not good.
They're really bad at football, Bob.
But why did we start Tommy Stevens?
You know what is interesting is
touchdown Tommy.
No, stay with us for a second, because I thought about something today.
Hold on, you're a State fan?
He's pretending to be a
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's pretending. Stay with us for a minute, because otherwise the phone's gonna ring and we'll go off topic. So it's been 5 years ago, basically this weekend, when Ole Miss and State were like 2 and 3 in the country. They were on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, 2014.
It's only been 5 years.
Those were good times, guys.
Think about this. Mississippi State did all that Mississippi State could do to bring the Ole Miss program to its knees. And 5 years later, I'll be told.
We're at the same time. There's not a dime's worth of difference.
Exactly. Isn't that amazing? 5 years later, they did all they could to bury Ole Miss. And if anything, their program's in worse shape. I mean, it's super close. Like you said, it's a razor's difference if you're evaluating the two teams right now, the two programs right now, which one's in better shape, which one's not, which one has momentum, which one's not. The whole effort on their part,
absolutely.
All it did was bring them down at the same time. It goes down in history as, I give Mullen credit. He turned it into the Florida gig. But everybody else over there completely lost in it.
Well, guys, I'm here with Tate Reeves. We're watching the game.
Tater.
And we just don't understand what is wrong with our team.
You know, I don't think it's anything that – I think a lot of it is just that damn Pelosi. I mean, I really do. I just think we got to get her shut up.
It's the damn liberals.
It is those.
It's the damn
it is
liberals.
the liberals. You're damn right.
Well, I mean, your boy Tate might be a spy. He was at Ole Miss with the chancellor over the weekend, last weekend. So,
Well, I don't know, y'all.
Anything else?
Hey, here's a question. Hey, thanks for the
Go Dogs, Potato Dog podcast all night long.
All right, see you, Bob.
Thanks.
Here's a question. If the Heisman were voted on today, would Joe Burrow win it?
Joe Burrow?
If the Heisman were voted on today, would Joe Burrow win it? Someone mentions that
it's
here.
him or Jalen Hurts. It's probably Jalen Hurts, though.
Well, that's what John Hazelwood says, Jalen Hurts.
I think it's Jalen Hurts at the moment.
I think it's one of those two. Joe Burrow is absolutely in the Heisman race right now. No doubt about it.
Caller, hold on 1 second.
If I told you a year ago that Joe Burrow would go into the middle of October in the Heisman race, you would not have believed me.
Well, no. I mean, I was the guy I was wrong on him. I'm admitting it now. You know that. I was very, very average on Burrow the entire time, and then here we are. So I understand it.
It's big of you.
It's big of me. Yeah, I know.
You win a big award. Now you're willing to consider him winning one.
I am. Who's on the line? Who we got?
This is Jack in Texas.
Says the two a die.
I'm sorry. Who's on the line? I'm sorry.
Jack in Texas.
Hey, Jack. What's up?
Hey, so I just need to know if this is an overreaction, but I really think Missouri's up front is going to beat UGA. Am I crazy for thinking that Missouri might win the SEC East?
You're not crazy. It's a warm take, not a hot take. Maybe.
That's fair.
But no, they're good. They're solid.
If Sam Williams started playing football when he was 15 instead of 19, is there a chance that he would, I think he's an NFL football player.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, he's going to get a look anyway. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, he's going to play in the league. No doubt.
All right. Well, and also, I don't know why. I didn't watch enough of the second half, but I don't know why Matt got in the game. I thought that Plumlee is what we got right now, and that's all we got. But y'all take over. I appreciate the show tonight, but I thought Corral could throw it. But
I thought second quarter Corral had to come in. They had Plumlee, pardon the pun, corralled. He wasn't getting anything done with his arm, and he was starting to make some throws that were really dangerous. He came to John Rice's credit. He came back in the second half, and I thought played a lot better. I didn't think late first quarter, early second quarter he was playing very good football.
I agree with that. I appreciate you guys taking my call.
Absolutely. We'll jump right back in. 1 second caller.
Got Boise State up 17-7 over Hawaii.
We've already moved on to that now?
Yeah, it's exciting. They're on the blue turf.
All right. Caller, who do we have?
What's up, Denver? I would like to see Plumlee in the red zone almost exclusively. He's really dangerous down there. I don't mind the multi-quarterback drives, especially at this point where neither quarterback has emerged as the go-to guy. I don't have a problem with that. I'm trying to be super careful that I don't fall into that pattern that a lot of people are doing where you're judging these guys without evaluating the fact that they're freshmen.
No, that's a huge lens of this.
Yeah, it has to be.
Every freshman quarterback almost acts like a freshman quarterback. I mean, the only ones that don't are the crazy, special, generational kind of guys.
Yeah.
And even them have a game or two where it's whatever. I mean, as a redshirt freshman, Johnny Manziel lost to LSU in Florida in 2 of his first starts.
I can remember a couple of Peyton Manning starts as a true freshman were not things you wrote home about. And he's obviously a generational quarterback.
All right, we'll take this one. 1 second, caller. Let me lock you in because apparently I did not do that last time with the last caller, and that was a mistake. So we'll get this one. 256.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Roy again.
Okay, what's up?
Not much, man. Had another question about what do you think impacted the game a little bit more? The two long gashes that Ole Miss gave up on defense, or the flip-flopping of the quarterbacks and stuff like that? Or what do you think was the main impact of the game in the second half for Ole Miss not being able to come back and get some drives going?
Well, the defense. Hey, turn your device down real quick so you don't have the delay. Is he gone?
Yeah, I just took it. It's fine.
I thought the big thing, just so you know, people wonder what the heck I'm doing. I'm putting the videos from Columbia into our content items so that those of you who subscribe to rebelgrove.com can see the things,
the interviews after the game.
The interviews that with the coordinators and Matt Luke.
Neil's column is up.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, the column's been up.
Okay.
Yep.
So go ahead. Finish your thought.
I thought the biggest thing, I don't think there's one biggest thing. I thought they left points on the board, and then defensively they had opportunities to get off the field that they didn't take advantage of. Simple as that. Who are you picking?
I don't have one at the moment. I don't have a box up.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of weird. I've got this thing in my There we go. Okay, we'll pick
got
this
it?
one.
All right,
Yeah, we'll pick this one. 1 second, caller.
We're testing.
It's the very first day, so we got some.
We are also testing the extreme limitations of the bandwidth of our Wi-Fi.
Yeah. All right. Who do we have on the line?
This is Houston. What's going on, guys?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Houston. What's up? Been a while. How you been?
It wasn't no 49-10, was it, Neil?
It wasn't no 49-10, Houston.
What'd you
That's
pick,
it,
Neil?
man.
What was your score?
I had Missouri by about 14.
Did you? So you had Missouri covering?
Yeah.
Okay. Hater.
Yeah.
What's up, Houston? What we got?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Look, I just had really more so an observation. You know, you are talking about giving Ely the ball more, and that's absolutely true. But I think a big piece of this offense is very underrated is Cooley. I think they've got to get the ball to him more. Don't y'all agree?
Yeah, I like what he does when he gets the ball in his hands, and he's done some good things. I think as a whole, you know, I'm glad you said that because it's something we haven't talked about. We've talked a lot about the two quarterbacks, almost as if they exist in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
The receivers are also really young, and it shows. They're having a hard time getting into their breaks. They're having a hard time at times getting off the line of scrimmage. I think it's impacting timing. I think it's very difficult in practice to simulate that stuff. And so I think sometimes the quarterbacks, both of them, look discombobulated passing the football because it is completely different in a game than it is in practice.
Yeah, nobody's been able to emerge as that number two. And Mingo had the one really good day. You've had Gregory, who's caught several jump balls and kind of done some stuff down the field that I really liked, but he hasn't showed up consistently. That's the one thing with Cooley that does give you a chance here is that, especially with Plumlee in at quarterback, the way it's most everything's going to be short and intermediate. You should take advantage of Cooley a little more just because he's going to be in some of those options that maybe not that the Plumlee can't get down the field as of yet in his development as a quarterback. So yeah, I think it's an even bigger deal with John Rice in the game than maybe Matt.
100%. That's exactly my point. I mean, if he can't push it downfield and the running game is kind of stagnant, I think he's 100% an option across the middle and short field.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think that's picking up a pretty good point. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Jump right back in. They're still going pretty quickly here. 1 second, caller, to get you in on the thing. Jay says he doesn't have to do this, but apparently I still do. So I don't know what the deal is here. But 1 second, and we'll get it. All right, who we got on the line?
This is Jeremy, and you are there right now. One take I got is just, isn't it time, and as far as the secondary, just really a lot of young guys. I know that's going to be bust and everything, but you watched Julius, and they just can't beat. They're not athletic enough. I think it's just really time to put young guys a lot more than they even are now.
it's a little bit of a double-edged sword right now. The young guys are doing really well. They're busting a few more assignments than the older people, but they're giving you much more just sheer ability. I mean, it's a good sign for Ole Miss, frankly, because they're going to get some of those guys some experience right now. They do have more athleticism. I mean, Hartsfield's had a pretty rough season. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah.
Julius has had a pretty rough season. Jalen Jones does not look like his pre-injury self, or at least consistently. So, yeah, I mean, Prince, who's definitely busted, but has shown some stuff as well. And frankly, Stanley's the one that's maybe impressed me more than anybody to this point early on in his career, because he didn't start the season as one of their options, but he's plugged in pretty well the last couple of days, Neil.
Yeah, I like the kids. I thought Prince played well today. Had a big play in the secondary that almost was an interception, frankly. Finley had a big play. Stanley's playing better. Yeah, listen, I think defensively you should definitely play the kids. And I think it would be easier for Matt to do that, frankly, if he felt more job security. It's something I'm surprised we haven't gotten that call tonight where, hey, what do you think about the long-term future of the program and the head coach and all of that stuff? And those are all things that are somewhat on the table because of all the unknowns with in terms of the administration right now. One of these days, I'm going to be able to talk over the phone ringing in my ear. It's
definitely throwing us off.
It's disconcerting.
Yeah, we've got to figure that out. Who we got on the line right now?
Hey guys, this is Daniel from Long Beach.
Daniel, how are you? What's going on?
Hey man, I'm enjoying the podcast. It has been entertaining, that's for sure.
Any gunshots outside your door this morning? Is that just tonight?
No, not long. Hey, I am from Jackson, but I haven't had any gunshots. Thank God. I am on Long Beach tonight. So, I do want to say that I am encouraged by the freshmen. I do think we're heading in the right direction. I do think we need to get the receivers involved more. I don't know that Corral is the answer. I'm encouraged by Plumlee, but we have got to find ways to get Jerry and Ely the ball more, whether it's screen passes, reverses. What happened to a bubble screen? I mean, you've got to get that kid the ball. You got to get him more touches.
As an Ole Miss beat writer, we have not seen screen passes since, I guess, Dan Werner, because that wasn't a part of Longo's offense either.
Yeah, Longo was anti-screen.
No, he would tell you out loud. He got very offended when you asked screen questions.
He at least admitted that he didn't like them.
Hey, he dropped me off his DM list. He was sending it to some other media members last week or so. A lot of North Carolina propaganda.
You okay?
I was not on that list.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
I have been removed.
Lucky you, Chase.
Yeah.
Well, what about like Ely in the slot? I mean, there's got to be. And look, I know we need to recruit defense-heavy JUCO this year because we need to get a better pass rush. We need to finish at the passer. It is, but our defensive backs are good. I think linebackers in the right direction. They're babies. I mean, all the babies are good, but we have to get Ely touches. I mean, we got to quit worrying about Corral or who we're offending, and let's go.
I don't think they're worrying about who they're offending, though. I just think they're trying to figure it out.
I agree. I don't disagree with that.
They were going one way and with Corral, and and then he got hurt, and they threw Plumlee in. I don't think having any real idea of what he could or couldn't necessarily do on that stage, and he performed extremely well. And then,
but Neil, don't you agree that when Plumlee's in there, the offense is different? It's different, though.
It is different. Here's the only thing I don't like about it, okay? It's so him. Everything is about him. And not that it's a bad thing.
I agree with that.
And so there's no balance at all. And
agree.
People make the comparison to Tebow. People make the comparison to Manziel. And I get both of those things. But in both of those offenses, two things. With Tebow, they always had a dynamic running back. They always had somebody who could really share the load running the football. And maybe that's Jerry and Ely, and maybe that's just Ole Miss hasn't figured it out yet. And with Manziel, he did have receivers who could make plays. He could throw the ball down the field some. And with Plumlee, there were times tonight where a good throw is a big gain, and he woefully underthrew the ball or woefully overthrew the ball. His accuracy isn't
He's
there.
putting too much air under the ball.
Yeah.
He needs. I mean, just needs to be quicker about his decisions and snap it. I mean, just go. And
you know, I've covered this league a long time. If you're not balanced, you better be really damn good in one facet. And he's really,
I don't disagree with that.
He's really good running the football. He is. He still shocks me, and I've covered him for a season now, and I'm stunned sometimes at how fast he is. But you got to be able to do more than that, and you know, I mean.
Why don't you put? I mean, and I know this is coming maybe, but don't you put them both in the game at the same time?
On the field at the same time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why not Taysom Hill like the Saints do? I mean, I just don't. Why not?
It's worth thinking about. I mean, I've talked about how I thought Plumlee would be an absolute bitch in the slot. I think he would be hell to defend.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know whether John, and I'm sure John Rice wants to. I'm sure he'd say, "Hey, I'll do whatever it takes to help the team and stuff." But listen. Here's part of the deal, and fans don't like this, media don't like this, but it's true. When you're a coach, you're also coaching the transfer portal. You don't want to send everybody to the transfer portal.
No, I get that, but I mean, the thing is, like we heard all week. Missouri's going to stop the run. They're number 4 in the country against defense. And this kid got 143 yards rushing. And they knew it was coming.
No, listen, he's proving me wrong as a rusher week after week after week after week. He's running the football.
I mean,
but he's not.
Neil,
but he's not throwing it. He's not throwing it.
No, he's not. Well,
so,
he threw for 2 touchdowns tonight, but if they're a holding call away from having a whole nother touchdown called off the board.
Oh, and listen, that play, it's 14-3 at that point, Ole Miss, and who knows what we're talking about.
That's tonight. Right.
He's so damn athletic.
That's exactly right.
And look, I get that we always compare. I've said this for years. I get we always compare players to great players and whatnot. You don't pick out a linebacker and go, oh yeah, he's Jolon Dunbar. But at the same time, if you told me down the road he's Christian McCaffrey light, I'm not going to argue with you.
Agree.
He's that kind of guy. So just get him out in space. Yeah, that's why I do. Yeah, that's why I do like at least the idea of having multiple of those guys in the game at the same time is that you can get him out and do so many things. I mean, look, I don't exactly how he catches the football, but he plays center field. He's got to have pretty good hands. So this is a deal where, you could move him around and get some different things out of him if he's amenable to that.
That's right. Well, and I will tell you this, like a caller called earlier, and we all know that our friends to the south whipped on this program for 4 years, ripped it up and spit it out. And look, I'm from Jackson, and I heard it all day and every day, and we won't even speak the idiot's name. But it's funny how they go to Tennessee, who's 1-4 today, and get their butts handed to them. And here Ole Miss is fighting and clawing every play, and we see nothing but bright in the future. There's a lot of irony in that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I was just talking about it a minute ago. It's the irony of where the two programs are 5 years removed from, the big glorious weekend when who did State beat that day? A&M? Auburn?
I think it was those two games
I totally agree
back-to-back
with that.
weeks. I think it was A&M.
Yeah.
On the day that Ole Miss beat, I don't know. The day that Ole Miss beat Alabama.
Yeah, well, look, guys, I want to tell you, I appreciate y'all, all the work you're doing for this podcast, and we do appreciate it. And obviously, we're here. We've all had a little too much vino, but it is what it is, and keep it going.
All right, thank you.
That's what I'm kind of craving is a glass of wine, actually.
Are you really?
A little bit.
I mean, it's only 11:05. It's about your drinking time at this point, isn't it? Something like that.
I could let you take calls, and I could go get a glass of wine.
You could get a glass of wine?
I could.
All right, caller, hold on 1 second. Let me get you in. At this point, we have to take calls simply because I don't want the ringing in my ear.
We can take a straw poll right now. Does anybody think I should go get a glass of wine?
That's what you're going to ask?
That's what I'm asking. Do you think I should go get a nice glass of red?
I'm getting so many calls that I'm having a hard time just ringing this call in. All right, who we got on the phone?
Hey, we got Hugh from Lynchburg.
All right.
So we're an hour plus in, guys. Chase, I'm just disappointed that you really hadn't gotten a hot board up today after a loss to Arkansas State. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
They won the second one. I mean, you just want to split, right? I mean, you get a game 3 to play at some point. So what's up?
How's your back?
It's
How's Mama?
well, they're both okay.
Good.
We're getting better.
Good.
Liberty win today?
Neil,
I don't know.
we did okay. You know, with just a lot of effort, a lot of good kids out there. Just we're winning off the field.
You know, I think it's important to note that that everything shouldn't be judged by the scoreboard.
Nope. I told you that a long time ago.
You did. Playing for a bigger purpose.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Jump back right in because I've seen this number a couple times.
They're saying the caller volume is loud and our volume is low all of a sudden.
Really?
Yeah, just FYI. Let me say this before, as you punch up a caller. This is I failed to say this at the beginning of the show. I said at the beginning of the pregame show that we did. We're certainly hopeful that years from now we'll look back on this show and laugh at how bad it was from a technical standpoint because we don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of learning as we go. So bear with us. We appreciate how many of you are out there that are bearing with us. Is today your birthday?
No.
Okay.
Caller, we have one on?
What's up, Steve? Good. How are you?
Watching the game and just wanted to see a little bit of everything, a little bit of Bud Light. Kind of disappointed that we don't have Bud Light in the vault next week. Might have to stick to a little Coors Light, a little Miller Light.
I was going to say, so if you can't have Bud Light, what will you drink?
It might be Coors Light, Miller Light. I thought they had some bullshit Susie B. Yes, I don't know. I don't know what else they had, but
you don't like the craft beer?
No. We don't do none of that.
Okay.
Big say, you sound like one of those seltzer guys. You're not into the what is it, the Henry's, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I've tried a White Claw.
You like that? What was your favorite?
I'll drink them. I'll drink one of them. I'll drink one of them mango White Claws, but it's got to be a White Claw. Can't be no Henry's.
Yeah.
Truly not your thing either.
But just wanted. Oh, Truly? No.
Truly rose.
We got to do White Claw.
Nah, he's a White Claw guy.
Okay.
No, we got to do White Claw. White Claw, no loss for the Claws.
Okay.
I got one question.
Yeah, go ahead. Apparently our volume is bad now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Our volume has dropped and the caller volume is loud.
Okay.
Just wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were on Matt Luke. I know he's the SEC head coach, but I
know what I did. I fixed it. We're good. Sorry, go ahead. Repeat that. I fixed the problem.
Just wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were on Matt Luke. You know, he's the SEC head coach. You know, time and time again, he just, penalty after penalty, he just sits there and, it's a bad. I feel like it's a bad ref decision, and he just sits there and he doesn't get mad about anything. I just want to see what y'all's thoughts were on some of the controversial calls, and he just sits there like, and just takes it. He doesn't, fight. If you see, if it was a call that, was against Saban, he'd be out there on the field throwing getting a penalty. He'd be mad. I just don't know what the deal was with Matt Luke. He just sits there.
Go ahead. I'm gonna try to fix my camera for a second while I'm doing this one.
You're gonna pass that by.
Yeah, I've got a camera to fix, Neil.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know what the coach is supposed to do in situations where there's a call that goes against his team. I mean, you can't go out and body slam the referee. And frankly, I didn't think the game was officiated all that poorly. Battle held. He held. He did. He held. It was. You could argue that they shouldn't have called it because it was behind the play, but he held. And he was right in the line of the vision of the official. I saw it, and when you saw the replay, you really saw it. We talked about Tisdale's hit. It was just stupid. It was a bad hit. What are you going to argue that? You're going to argue that he didn't target? They reviewed it and looked at it. He did. You could get a little upset about Jacquez Jones's call, but they reviewed it. They tell.
Why not call the touchdown in, and then you can always reverse it.
Which one?
Right before the half.
Oh, well, because they didn't rule him in, and you didn't see any replay that conclusively ruled him in. I mean, look, here's the thing about that call. I didn't like the play call. You're running it right up the middle, which is exactly what Missouri is defending. You got to come up with something more creative there, or get points. That's you're trying. Like I get wanting to blame a game on the officials. Two things. When you have some of the stupid mistakes that Ole Miss had, and they absolutely had stupid mistakes, and when you give up 560 plus yards of offense, your margin for error is really thin. And when you have a game like that, and then you get a touchdown called back because of a penalty, when you fumble the ball in plus territory, when you do some of those things, it's going to be really difficult to win the game.
I hear you on that. Last question. Who's in the SEC longer, Joe Moorhead or Matt Luke?
Ooh. That's a good question.
It's Matt Luke because Moorhead.
You think?
Is there a way he's actually coaching for his job this year?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that thing could bottom out on him. I don't think he likes it here anyway, frankly. I mean, he likes the paycheck. I don't know where he's going.
Rutgers.
You really headed to Rutgers? You really doing that?
Wait.
I mean, I get it resets a clock. I understand that.
To beat the posse? Hell yeah. I mean, right now today, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're sitting here, a podcast. Sure. We got time to do. I go get a glass of wine in a minute. But SEC West. What's the worst job in the SEC West today? Alabama's the best job in the country.
It's Arkansas or Mississippi State. Take your pick.
Well, you tell me. If I tell you today you can either be the head coach at Arkansas or the head coach at Mississippi State for the next 5 years, which job do you want today?
I want Arkansas.
I do too.
Yeah. It's in its own state. I get it's not the best football state in the world, but you're still in your own state.
More money.
Yeah.
More money. More resources.
I'm finding a second wind. I'm good. I'm drinking my water. I'm not ready to go home. We're all good. I'm reading chat. Go ahead.
I absolutely want the Arkansas job before the state job. And I want the Ole Miss job before either one of those two jobs. And I want the other 4 jobs before I want any of those 3 jobs. So I'm Mississippi State. I got the worst job in the league. Worst job in the West.
Yeah, this is what I did. So my camera is screwed up. We've ordered another camera. It's coming in on Monday. Just kind of giving a little heads up here.
So can I let you talk a minute and I'll go refresh myself?
You want to do that?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
You all right with that?
Yeah, good. It's fine. So what I did here was I had to replace my camera, and I just moved to the FaceTime camera on my thing because you could either get a lag with phone's ringing off the hook. We'll get to some calls in a second. But you either were going to get a lag between the audio and the camera, or you're going to get a glitch, and I just chose to have the lag because it was driving me crazy. So that's where we are. I know this. It will be fixed on Monday. I still think it's going to be a situation where we probably on Monday or Tuesday start the podcast this way in the morning as well. I don't know that we're going to take calls every day. We definitely won't take calls every day. We probably will some days, but we will give a viewing option and a chat option for the main show for the podcast on morning. Let's see, Chase. How long before? I'll read chat for a minute. We'll kind of go through that a little bit. Chase, how long before Boyce makes a public appearance? He has an open invitation. In full disclosure, I have not reached out to him. We will, though. I don't mind talking to him. I mean, I was impressed. That was one of the things when I was talking to Adam on Friday. I do give Boyce credit for doing that interview with Mississippi Today right after. I thought that was something that was something he didn't have to do, something he easily could have gotten around a little bit. So I thought that was a big deal. I'm giving him some credit on that one because it would have been very, very easy to shrug that off and not do that. No, look. We're not going to take calls every day, but I do think we're going to give a viewing option to the podcast on those days when it so comes. That's kind of what we're thinking. We're gonna allow you the ability to watch, but no, the podcast will still be uploaded to all the places that you're used to the podcast. That is not changing. That's definitely not changing. We're pretty stuck on that these days. Neil is struggling opening a bottle of wine right now.
I'm not struggling.
You kind of are. What are you doing?
I'm getting the foil off the top.
Like that?
Yeah.
You need to put this on camera. Neil is doing a really bad job of opening this. Kind of watching you right now.
I could have done it in the kitchen and just left you hanging.
I'm good. I've only done 2,000 of these. I can talk for 2 minutes. Something like that. All right, we'll get back to the calls because, frankly, they're driving me insane in my ear. All right, caller, hold on 1 second before I can log you in because Neil is over here putting a cork down in a bottle of wine at the moment. So it's gonna take a second.
I'm calling.
Oh, okay. Who's back with us?
It's Jack from Texas again.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Hey, so I got a question. I keep hearing Hartwell's name for the AD position, and I'm curious if I'll preface this with saying I'm cool with Luke being a CEO of the program so far. That's fine with me. But if shit hits the fan, do you see Hartwell bringing in the Texas Tech staff, or would that even be possible? Because I like what they've done with Texas Tech so far in their first year. I'd like to hear y'all's thoughts on that.
Help me with the Hartwell Texas Tech connection.
So Hartwell's football guys just went from Utah State to Texas Tech this year. This is their first year in Lubbock.
Oh, okay. I guess I wasn't connecting the dots. I don't know. It's a good question. I think if Hartwell got the job, I do think that he would come in and look, whoever gets it, today's October the 12th? Whoever gets it's got, realistically, no one's getting in here before November the 1st. Is that fair? So, whoever gets it is not going to have a lot of time to make evaluations if they're going to make some sweeping change. I think it's far more likely that whoever gets it does himself a favor and takes the year to evaluate it, because that's the scenario that makes the most sense. I've said this a ton of times. The scenario that makes the most sense, that is the most practical, that is the most economic, that is the most rational, is that you give Matt Luke another season, and one of two things happens. One, he starts winning games like the one tonight, where it becomes easy to keep him and it becomes a really good story, and et cetera, et cetera. Or two, they don't win next season. If they don't win next season,
and that start especially,
yeah, then the writing's on the wall and everyone knows it, and it makes it much easier to move on. And further, at that point, you've had a lot more time to conduct a search. When you conduct a search in a couple of weeks, in a rush, it can go squirrely super fast on you, and you can lose an entire recruiting class. The whole thing can fall apart on you. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I just think it's incredibly unlikely.
Right, and don't get me wrong. I love Matt Luke as a CEO of the program. I love what he does off the field. I do question the decisions he makes in game, but at the same time, I know everyone wants to say, "Oh, it's year one again." He's in his third year as a head coach in the SEC. It's hard to make those calls on the field consistently, and I understand that there's sometimes you have to have some growing pains, and I understand people here don't want to wait on that. But if he's going to be out and we're going to have a new AD in, I kind of want to have some clarity in my head on what direction we might be heading.
Yeah, and that's fair. Look, right now you got a chancellor that's about to start a job that has an approval rating that is somewhere around 10%, maybe. That might be a little hyperbolic, 20%. That's tops. So, you just there's a lot going on. I don't think now's the time to conduct a coaching search. I think it's, hey, wait a while, see what happens.
And I don't know exactly how quickly this AD thing is going to move, because we've heard a few names, but there's no leader in the clubhouse. We keep hearing that Boyce would like to do some committees and commissions and all sorts of stuff, even though he also says he'd like to move quickly, so I'm not really sure how that works. But
well, he just found out that he was getting the job the other day. I mean, listen, the poor guy got called into an interview that he didn't see coming on Thursday, took a job on the spot, had to go home and say, honey, guess what? We're moving to Oxford now.
Didn't make a call or anything. Just,
no,
hey, here it is.
We're moving to Oxford right now.
Yeah, and hey, I get all that, and I'm for keeping Luke around and letting this thing play out because I love what he's doing recruiting, and again, I think he has time to figure that out. I think he has a football brain, and he understands the way the game works, and just sometimes making those decisions within those 60 minutes takes some time to figure out when you're going to make those calls on the spot. And I understand that. I just if I heard Hartwell's name around, and I really like the job that those Utah dudes have done over at Texas Tech in the short time they've been there, and just I figured if he had to let them go there and could bring him over to another Power 5 school, that would be a pretty solid opportunity.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I
I've
just
heard
wanted
Hartwell's
to get
job.
those thoughts on that.
I've heard Hartwell's names too, and I can tell you he wants it. I know that he wants the job. I don't know how strong or not strong his candidacy is. I just know that he wants it. Keaton has asked what the effect of tonight is on recruiting.
Zero.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Zero.
I think recruiting's been. I would hope. I don't know much about it, but I would hope that the way we've played and the way the guys show up so far has been nothing but positive. We've been actually competing this year versus last year. It looked like we were giving up by the second quarter, and these guys are playing through the fourth quarter every week, and I couldn't be more happy with that. I didn't expect more than 5 or 6 wins this year, regardless, and the fact that dudes are showing up and we're playing freshmen, everybody's getting reps. I love it. But I just I'm curious as the way with the whole Chancellor thing up in the air. There's coin flips above the athletic department right now that are going to affect the athletic department. So just trying to keep my mind open to everything.
Hey, thanks for the call.
Absolutely.
And it's Kenton, not Keaton.
Yes, sir.
I apologize to Kenton.
He's had some drinks and stuff, so it kind of is what it is. It's fine. He's going to start mispronouncing names. And now, look, Sugar's this AD thing, I don't have any idea. I mean, I don't know where they're going. We can make some guesses. Everybody can make those Ole Miss educated guesses.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's going to be a segment, and frankly, this is probably a credit to him when he was the head of development. There's going to be a segment of pretty high-level donors that want Keith Carter to keep staying in the job. I mean, there is.
Sure.
I mean, that's just one of those deals. I know that Boyce and Keith met for lunch sometime late over the week. So, I mean, it's one of those deals where I just think it's too early to tell. I don't think we're quite at that point yet. I have a list of calls up here from like 10 numbers, and I don't memorize the numbers. So I don't know who's called in before. I don't know who
Just
has
take one. I'm going to hear the sound in my sleep.
It is very disconcerting.
Yes.
It's not a normal ring. It is a really weird deal. Where did you see it was my birthday, by the way?
Someone on the chat said it's your birthday, so I asked.
It's not my birthday.
Okay.
That is.
You know me, I'm not a big birthday person, so I don't pay a lot of attention to that.
You hate the birthday thing.
I'm not a birthday guy at all.
All right, well, we're going to take this call. Hold on, one caller. 1 second.
Who's this? You are on live.
Hey, I'm sorry. This is Ned from Noxapater.
Ned from Noxapater. Okay.
What's happening, guys?
What's up, Ned?
Yeah, I'm curious. What are you drinking, Neil?
Right now, Ned, I've switched over to B-Side. It's a nice Cabernet from the North Coast in California.
Okay. Oh no, I just opened a Gurgit cab from the Napa Valley.
This is a B-Side Cabernet. It's rich with fresh boysenberry aromas, plush texture, and smooth tannins.
That's on the back of the bottle?
Yeah, it captures the soul of the North Coast region. Sure does.
Perhaps a little vanilla in the mix.
Maybe a little. It's in Napa. It's a nice Napa Cabernet. It's very nice.
So yeah. Am I crazy to think that our wide receiver talent is better than it is? I feel like, I know they're babies. I know we got Mingo and Elijah and Braylon's been hurt.
The Jacksons.
But I feel like we've got some talent there that are not. Am I wrong? Am I giving them too much? Am I expecting too much of some of the young pups?
If you're expecting it right now,
performing better.
Yeah, you're expecting too much right now. I don't know that, a year from now, if we're still having this conversation about am I expecting too much, well, then at that point they've either underachieved or, our expectations were too high. they're kids. A year ago they were playing high school football, and it's
No, I agree. I mean, I feel like we were kind of spoiled when AJ and DK were freshmen and when LeCron was a freshman. We kind of had maybe some guys that weren't normal.
Yeah, that's more than fair. I mean, let's talk about those three guys you just mentioned. So before Laquan Treadwell breaks his ankle as severely as he did, he was an elite player. Even after the ankle injury, he was a first-round pick. DK Metcalf was a second-round pick. Is that right? Of the Seahawks. AJ Brown's a second-round pick.
Last pick of the second round. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about guys that, listen, the NFL doesn't care where you play. They don't care if you play at Ole Miss or at Iowa or at Slippery Rock. They just don't give a damn. They truly don't. They don't care. It's all about measurables and all of that stuff. So when you get taken that high in the draft, you're a stud. And when you lose 2 second-round picks, and listen, I was telling Chase this the other day. I was at my gym the other day. I promise this isn't about me. This is about something else. And I was having a really good workout.
Neil works out. We're telling you that for the first time.
And
today.
I was feeling good about it.
It used to be Neil runs. Now it's Neil works out.
I was feeling good about it, and then
Ned from Noxapater rides the Peloton too.
Attaboy, Ned. In walks Dawson Knox, and I've never felt less inferior in my life. I mean, when you're replacing guys like that, there's going to be a fall off at that position. It was one of the things we talked about throughout the offseason, right? Is that when you're replacing DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, who am I forgetting? DeMarcus Lodge, Dawson Knox. When you're replacing that type of talent, Greg Little, when you're replacing that type of talent off one side of the football, there's going to be a fall off. And frankly, they've minimized the fall off a little bit. But yeah, they're not as experienced. They're not as physical. They're not as talented right now at wide receiver at the skill positions as they were a year ago. But there is a lot of potential there.
Yeah, but I feel like we've been spoiled. I mean, we've had guys like you said, DeMarcus Lodge. We've had what's the big cat that played for the Dolphins for a minute?
Larry
big
Tunsil?
fella. No,
DeMaurier?
Washington kid.
Yeah, DeMaurier Stringfellow.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, and then you got we've had some receivers, some players, and so here we are now with a bunch of new guys, and they're all babies, and I feel like they've got potential. And Mingo looks the part. He looks like AJ looked, but so far not so much.
Well, some of this, too, is, I mean, frankly, to this point, the quarterback play hasn't been as good as it's been in years past. And then, B, they're not able to feed off each other quite as well. I mean, you look at some of these other groups that we
interns?
Some of these other situations that we talk about, AJ had DK, had Dawson, had DeMarcus, had all these guys. Elijah's elite, but even you're seeing a little decrease in production from Elijah because nobody else is getting open enough, is creating that situation for Elijah to get single coverage and not be bracketed and all these different things. Mingo's got to take a step. Like I said, I really like Mingo. I really like DeMarcus Gregory. I think he's coming on slowly but surely.
I like Dennis Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it's there,
yeah.
but it's just not it's not coming on as quickly as we're used to in the past.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the call. Really appreciate it.
I agree 100%.
Thank you. Thanks for the call.
And not to focus in on the wide receivers, because I think we've got a lot of talent there. They're just, like I said, they're all pups. But let's switch to the defense for a minute.
Sure, why not?
Don't y'all think that what McIntyre's done is remarkable? I mean, frankly, other than Haynes and Henry, it's the same talent he had last year, or that we had last year, yet the performance has been remarkably improved.
It has. We'll talk about it. Thanks.
Yeah. Taylor, you're exactly right. The interns are hard at work on next week's picks right now as we speak. They're killing it. Had a good week.
The interns had a good week?
We had a good week.
I had a really good week. Did you have a good week too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You lost to Arkansas. Kentucky won.
No.
Arkansas won?
covered.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
So Kentucky could have scored there at the end and decided not to?
Yes, sir.
Well, son of a bitch.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't realize that.
Arkansas covered.
I was bragging about that. I thought we were in a situation where we had that thing.
Iowa covered.
Oh, those games don't count.
The hell they don't.
Those games don't really count. That's crap.
I'll remember that if I lose.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and
are you gonna set your alarm clock to this sound when we?
I don't think I even need an alarm. I think it's gonna wake me up at 3 a.m.
Iowa did not cover.
What was the line?
I don't know, but Iowa didn't cover. Hey, this call will not stop calling, so I'm going to take this. Hold on 1 second, caller. We'll pull you in. Who do we have?
Man, this is Jim from Tuscaloosa.
What's up, Jim?
Yeah, it's really Roy from Huntsville, whatever. I was trying to beat Jim from Tuscaloosa from the Fine Bomb show, but
yeah,
I just wanted to give y'all a call back again.
How's everything over there in Alabama?
They aren't, I guess. Had a couple good years years ago, but you know how it is right now.
Y'all getting a little worried over there about LSU and all that? Y'all getting kind of concerned about LSU?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
You think you're going?
I'm an Ole Miss guy over there.
Okay,
so
okay.
I care less about Alabama than LSU does.
Okay, I hear Tuscaloosa sometimes, and I just start thinking, time to get a little worried because you don't ever know.
I hear you.
What's up, Jim?
But not much, man. My main question was, the defense had been stopping the run for a little while or whatever, and to get gashed a little bit tonight. Jim, McIntyre and everything his focus was to run. They kind of let down a little bit tonight. The pass defense was all right a little bit. They gave up a little bit of yards and stuff like that. But my main question was, what do you think the probability is of us getting to a 5-win APR or 6 wins for a bowl game are? That's my main question. What do you think? Do you think we can get there, or are we just going to fall a little bit short?
So
I'll hang up and listen.
Two things. One, to stand corrected, Iowa did not cover. The line was 3.5. I'm wrong.
Hate that.
Yeah, I know you do. But those games don't count. So that's what someone said just a second ago. So the 5-win thing, we broached this on the podcast last week. Would Ole Miss take a 5-7 APR bowl bid?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, I guess you would.
There's no negative to it.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those deals where, especially with some of this stuff right now, absolutely. I mean, there's no whatever about it. I mean, look, I'm fine. I'm completely sober. I have no issues. I'm not slurring.
No, not yet.
Fine.
Better than me. I've been drinking a little bit tonight.
Have you? What have you been drinking?
Some Buffalo Trace, some Wilford Reserve, a couple other little things, some Miller Lite maybe.
That sounds like a headache.
A little bit, so I'm good.
Hey,
it's been a good night.
Mix in some ibuprofen and Gatorade a little later.
Yeah, what else in Jay's
Red
cocktail?
Gatorade
What else in that
really
thing?
good.
I don't know, a bunch of stuff like a Sudafed. And I don't know.
Sudafed?
I don't know what's in Jay's cocktail. I've never done it.
Whatever it takes to wake up the next morning, you're good.
Well, yeah, that's a positive. Appreciate the call.
Definitely.
Well, jump right back in. I think this call's been calling a good bit. Hold on 1 second.
Let's get him or her. We need a female caller. We had one. That was good. It was a good call. It was the call of the night.
Was it?
Yeah.
Just because I complimented you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that why?
Damn right it was. Someone says your face is saying, I just need that Uber.
I'm fine. I'm really annoyed right now because I can't. The calls won't stop coming in fast enough for me to actually get the other call on. Is the problem? So just hold on, caller. We're gonna navigate this, but again, like it is just going crazy right now. I cannot seem to.
One of these days, I'm gonna be the guy that tweets "blessed to have another day" or "blessed to wake up."
Neil hears this. I seriously cannot get to the call. I know somebody's on. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Yeah, and there's a delay, so even if I yell at y'all to stop for a second, there's. I think it's like I think it's all just a screw with me at this point.
Yeah,
Honestly,
me too.
I think it's I don't know what to do, Neil. I'm in a situation where I cannot get to the call because
Just take one.
No, one's on. I cannot get to the screen to open it up
because there's so many calls.
Yeah, it
coming
just keeps
in.
coming in and interrupting me while I'm doing it.
So it's like a virus.
It is a virus. Yes, that is.
There we go. Nope.
No.
Oh, what's that? You grabbing one?
No, it stopped for the moment.
Okay.
Here, I gotta close this out.
Mr. Parham's a little overwhelmed right now, and I can't say anything because I cannot imagine how overwhelmed I would be at this point.
You think so?
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Well, Jay doesn't have this dang problem. Apparently, he does not run into this issue like we do.
Does he not get as many calls?
No, he doesn't have to go in and actually pull the number every time like I
okay.
do. Apparently, this is a new number. Hold on one second, caller.
Oh, here we go. Hey, caller, welcome into the show.
Hey, this is Tool Army.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Tool, what's up?
I want to switch gears.
Okay.
Sure.
What would you do with the IHL? Would you try to push that to the limit, or would you just lay down?
If you're the UM Foundation or what?
Yes.
Look, I've talked to a lot of people here. I'm assuming I'm taking this one now.
It's. I mean,
my area.
I'm familiar with it, but you're more versed in this.
So here's the deal. I think two things. One, I think the Ole Miss chancellor in general, as a job, is underpaid. You pay a football coach $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, whatever Freeze got up to there at the end. The athletic director makes well over $1 million. The head of the school, with everything involved with that, the chief fundraiser, you're the face of the school from a communicating standpoint. I think that job should pay more than it pays. So in a lot of ways, I don't have any issue with a lot of that kind of stuff. However, had they wanted to say, no, look, keep it at 600, keep it at what Vitter was making, I have no problem with that as well. Now, look, the board's going to pass it. He's going to get the 800. It's going to be even with Keenum. The IHL is very big on the Ole Miss and Mississippi State presidents, chancellors, whatever, making the same amount of money. So I think that no matter who the president would have been, the IHL would have recommended that same amount of $800,000. That's not a favor to Boyce or anything else. That's what the raise went to from Mark Keenum. The Ole Miss Foundation said, though, look, let's figure out what the guy deserves. You know, if it's and I always use Bobby Robbins as an example because he's a sitting president that's making a certain amount of money at Arizona, 1.1, 1.2, whatever it was. So I don't want to get hung up on Robbins because every time I talk about Robbins, a lot of people get kind of annoyed that I'm bringing his name up, but I'm just using him as an example. The UM Foundation was willing to go to whatever number that needed to be. If they needed to pay a couple $100,000 extra more than the IHL was asking for, they were fine with that. Now, here's the kicker in this. The IHL didn't want that to happen. The IHL does not want the Ole Miss chancellor to make 1.1, 1.2, and the Mississippi State chancellor to make 800. They want things very, very even from those two salaries. So I really don't think it's about Boyce. I think it's about just keeping everything fairly connected between those two schools right here. Personally, if I'm on the UM Foundation, I probably vote no, simply because of the way the process went. If I had a vote, I would vote to keep the number more at 600. Let's see how the first years go, see how the tenure kind of gets going, and you can always raise it. You can always do some other things as well. Plus, I wouldn't like to be strong-armed the way that they were strong-armed. I don't care what press releases said or anything else. There was the intimated thought was definitely that they were at least threatening or the perceived threat of making board members lose their spot on this board. So I would have voted no. I would have voted a less amount, but it's going to pass. I think as time goes on, that happens with most things. I think people decide, hey, look, we've got to work with this guy. We've got to do this. Let's be pragmatic about it and let's move on. But no, I would have voted no. I think they all should have their own boards, but that's only going to happen when Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Southern Miss all want their own boards at the same time. That's not the case right now. Ole Miss doesn't have a lot of political capital in Jackson right now from a legislature standpoint. So I don't see where that's anywhere on the books. It would be a bear to try to get rid of the IHL. It's just not even hardly possible. And and look, let's not act like everybody having their own board is some flawless system. That still requires a lot of really careful nature on who gets on that board as well. So I don't know. But, yeah, this is a deal where I would have voted no, but it's going yes. There's no doubt about that.
Couple of things. The recorder is full, and so
we're out.
We're finished at an hour and a half.
Okay.
Two, John Goodman has a good point. Can we get a loser bet going for the last place finish in Neil's picks and then actually do it this year?
I wasn't against it. It just didn't happen.
It just didn't happen. Yeah, we'll take suggestions.
I don't think I was balking.
We'll take suggestions on who, between Chase and I, not Zach and Jeffrey, because that doesn't work. Between the two of us, which one of us should pay, what price should be paid for finishing last in picks. We'll take suggestions here over the next week or so.
Claritin, vitamin C, vitamin D, Advil before bed, and then pickle juice and Gatorade.
I've heard pickle juice works.
Really?
That's what I've heard for cramping and stuff.
I've never tried
for dehydration.
That.
Yep.
Really? Anything else, Tool? Appreciate your call.
Well, yeah, it's not that there's a problem with the money per se. It's more about just pushing back against the process. I feel like you have to at least take some sort of stand. Even if you ultimately lose, I feel like you've got to at least push back. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys.
You see, Kenton, let's see, who is it? Who has said that? Ryan Burns. This is our recorder. We use this all the time. You're right. I probably should have deleted some of the previous files.
Are there a lot of files on there?
Not really, 5 or 6. Because I delete because I'm sort of weird about that. But we're not used to recording this long. And we bought another recorder that Jay recommended, but I've already.
It didn't look necessary.
No.
I couldn't find where that was possible. All right, here's a new call. We'll take this one. Hold on 1 second, caller, so I can plug this in.
Loser goes to the Dollar General Bowl.
Oh gosh,
that's
who's on the line?
Sucks.
This is Hayden from Memphis.
Hey Hayden, what's up?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I was just calling to see what y'all thought about the in-game decisions. Do you think Matt Luke actually makes those, or do you think he hired the coordinators to make those for him?
Like which ones, Hayden?
Just the in-game decisions, like not putting Plumlee in there down at the goal line, changing quarterbacks out, 4 or 5 times a drive. Just kind of what y'all thought about that.
If you made me guess, and I don't know the answer, I can ask. If you made me guess, things like that are the coordinators. Things like going forward on 4th and 1 at the goal line is Luke.
Yeah, I think I agree there. I think anything actual offense-based is in personnel or play calling is Rodriguez. Then I think Matt's a more large scheme situation.
Yeah, I do too.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. I think we're starting to get into the part of the night where there's some inebriated humans that just keep calling back no matter how many times
I can relate.
We've taken their call. You can relate to that?
Although I'm more sober tonight than I was last night at this time.
You were asleep at this point last time.
I was worn out.
This is when you were in the middle of the floor over here right in front of my feet snoring last night.
Yeah, I was tired.
Jay and I were over here just, nose to the grindstone.
Yeah. I was
trying to figure it out.
I make no apologies. I was tired. I needed to rest my eyes.
Did you?
Yep.
All right, here's a new call. 1 second, caller. Hold on.
I do think the losers should go to a cold weather game from action. Well, I agree completely.
We had that going. It just didn't really work. Who do we have on the line?
Just Coach O. Hey, Seth and Nia, how's it going?
Who is it now? Coach O?
Coach O.
Hey, Coach, what's up? Congratulations on your big win tonight.
I appreciate that. What to get Seth? Your thoughts on if you thought I'd ever do this for the Tigers?
What do you think, Seth?
Hey, I was an Orgeron supporter when he got the LSU job. I thought you'd grown up a little bit. I thought we'd actually taken a few steps of a maturity process a little bit there. I'm all in. I did not take offense to being called Seth for 1.5 seasons of the 3 that I covered at Orgeron. It's all right. I mean, he had snakes in his head. Things happen. It's all right.
He called me things worse than Seth.
Did he?
Yeah, he didn't like me at all.
When did he talk to you?
He knew that Noel Mazzoni and I were friends, and
that was a problem.
Yeah, it was an issue.
But I mean, when did you see him though?
At media days.
He talked to you at media days.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Kind of confronted me. He did not like some.
What did he say?
He did not like some of the things I had written or said, and he thought it was unfair.
How did he put it?
I don't like the things you wrote or say. I think unfair.
In that many words?
Yeah, I think unfair.
So he didn't like throw stuff at you or anything.
No. He didn't like physically assault me. I think he would have liked to have.
Dude drank 6 Red Bull between Oxford and Holly Springs.
How?
Look, his heart didn't explode.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to have calmed down a lot.
So far, including even tonight, he's kept things pretty calm.
That LSU Alabama game is going to be fantastic.
1 second, caller.
Oi, Brenton Schaefer.
Who we got on the line?
Hey, this is Allie again.
Okay.
Hey, Allie.
Oh, Neil will be happy to take this one.
Allie?
Hey, I'm excited to talk to Neil again too.
Go ahead.
But this time it is an athletics directed question.
It's too bad. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you're still good looking, Neil.
Thanks,
What
Allie.
can I say?
Oh, good.
You haven't changed since the last time I called. My main question was, I know it's a guess, but what is y'all's main timeline for an athletic director hire? I know it's a guess, but what's your main timeline?
Okay. If you made me guess, I think it actually goes pretty quick.
Mid-November?
At the latest.
That's kind of my thought when you were asking that question. So another month-ish, I think, is where I'm going with this.
Yeah, because Allie, if you I swear to you, I don't know the answer to this. If you made me guess, I'd guess they already know who it is. And I don't know who that is. I don't know whether it's Walker Jones, or whether it's John Hartwell, or whether it's some outside candidate that whose name hasn't come up, or whether it's Keith Carter. But if you made me guess, my guess would be that decision has already been made. That's the reason I think it happens pretty quick. But I could be dead wrong, and it could go into March for all I know.
So, Neil, if you say another month, that means like tomorrow they'll be hired, right? Because you said next year for the chancellor.
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought up how wrong he was there, because he gave it no shot of happening anytime in 2019. You only missed it by like 6 months.
Only 6 months. I mean, give or take.
I'm stunned, really, that it happened the way that it did. Of course, I didn't think it would be totally fixed.
You gave them all a lot of credit.
You did give them the benefit of the doubt.
I believed in them more than they deserved to be believed in.
And y'all spelled my name right, so I really do appreciate that.
I was 50-50. I took a shot at it, so
you did good.
Okay.
All right.
What do you do in Spanish Fort, Allie?
I'm a nurse.
Oh, okay.
I'm a NICU nurse, actually.
At which one? Thomas?
At USA Children's and Women's.
Oh, okay, cool. So you drive across the causeway every single day?
I do, across the bay.
Yep.
What's that fish restaurant you used to like, Neil? The one you were pretty big on over there?
Oh, I liked Ed Shed.
Okay.
And there was Felix's, but the people at Felix's helped get me fired from WNSP.
Really?
Yeah.
Your patronage did not pull it off for you?
I don't think so.
We don't love Felix's. We do not love
because they screwed with our boy Neil over here.
It's kind of overrated.
It is overrated. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, it's kind of a tourist trap. Like original Oyster House was always kind of a tourist trap.
We've never been to Ed's either. We need to go.
Yeah, Ed's is pretty good. Their po' boys are great.
So what's your favorite?
Over here, what's our favorite restaurant?
Trattoria.
We like Trattoria. It's a local Italian restaurant. It's not seafood, but it's good.
Is Market by the Bay still in business?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is still in business. We haven't been there yet either.
Yeah, no.
But
I
it's
used to
still
go
in
there a
business.
lot. That's one of the. I don't miss a lot of the things from down there, but I do miss the fresh seafood. We would go to Market by the Bay and get like tuna that had been caught that day. That was fantastic.
We need to try there. My husband actually asked about where your favorite places were here, but we haven't tried any of them yet.
How long have you been? Have you been there?
We've been here for 2 years.
Okay.
We're from Jackson originally.
Yeah, I saw the area code. That's what confused me at first.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
all good. It's fine. Neil's gonna like add you to the favorites now, so it's fine.
Okay, I'll call in next week.
Okay.
I work next week, but I'm off at 7, and so I think I'll make it. in
All
time.
good. It's fine.
Everybody says Allie
Okay,
buried the
great.
lead with the husband, so it's all good.
Neil, I think you should also switch to stemless wine glasses. They're better all around.
Yeah,
They're more functional.
I have some. I just didn't. I didn't grab them just then. I do have a set of them, and I tend to agree with you.
Even though your hand's gonna heat it up.
Yeah, your hand will warm.
Yeah,
it
your
up.
hand's gonna
heat
warm
it
up
up?
the glass.
That's the most ridiculous thing
No,
I've
it's
ever
not. It's
heard.
very
It's
true.
scientifically proven.
Yes.
No, I've never heard of that before. And
Oh.
I drink a lot of wine.
You're drinking hot wine then.
Yeah, you're warming it up too much, Allie.
Yeah.
Room temperature.
Well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
You too, Allie. Bye.
All right, we'll grab this one. I may have already had this one again. If it is, I'm going to just hang up because I'm getting tired of the same
Christopher
people.
says bottle drinking.
Hold on
only.
one
It's like,
second.
no. I don't think I'm bottle drinking tonight.
Who are we speaking to?
Hey, it's Bob Bogachitti.
You got to be really, really good in the next 5 seconds. What do you got?
Chase,
Yeah.
I just want to tell you congratulations for top 40 under 40.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're
Is
welcome.
this your way of
And-
sucking up to stay on the air for a few minutes?
Cheers, Chase.
Thanks.
Yep. All good. Hey, guys, I enjoyed your show tonight. I appreciate you staying on so late, and it will only get better from here.
All right, appreciate it, bud.
Thank you, guys.
Liberal Neil and his junk science.
And your junk science?
It's not junk. It's true.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
But then you agreed and said you should get into that.
No, I mean I do like the stimulus glasses.
Who are we talking to?
Hey, it's Jared in Gulfport.
Hey, Jared,
how
what's
are
up?
you?
I'm doing fine, guys. How are y'all?
We're hanging in as the clock gets ready for midnight.
I can see that. Yeah, I'm made the decision to stay up late for this Pac-12 game. I'm probably going to regret it when I got to be up early tomorrow. But
It's kind of over. Oh wait,
The-
are you watching Boise and Hawaii, or is there another game?
No. I said Pac-12, Arizona and Washington.
Oh my God, I got to. Oh, there it is. Switched.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's actually a decent game. So it's
Oh,
not
there
bad.
it is.
Um,
Arizona up 17-13, 14:06 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, so me and like my friends do like a weekly pick 'em where we pick games against the spread and over under, and this is like the nightcap on it. So, anyways, so calling. So I had kind of like an observation from our game, and I want to see if you guys agreed or disagreed. And I was watching the Air Force game at the same time, so I may have just been off, but it seemed to me that the offense just sort of responded a little bit better to Plumlee. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I think you're right.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, Matt obviously made some throws that Plumlee can't make, and he missed some throws that he should have made. But it just seems like with Plumlee in there, it just had a bit more of like a pep to it, if that makes sense.
There is a certain tempo to when Plumlee's in the game. There's no doubt about that. I agree, and I think it's part of why we keep saying because we keep calling it leadership and all these different things. We have no idea about that, but there is a certain response from teammates to Plumlee that we don't necessarily see from Corral, at least in a tangible way to our naked eye, for whatever that's worth.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of what it it seemed to me. So let's see if you guys agree with me. And by the way, in that Air Force game, you guys missed a beautiful game-winning drive that took up 12 minutes of clock time and did not end up in a score to win the game.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Wow, that's
12-minute offense.
You have no idea how much sports writers love 12-minute drives. Love them.
I see. I think you guys are covering the wrong team, man. Y'all need to move out to Colorado Springs. It's not so hot, Neil. I know how you complain about the heat, and
Ole Miss Missouri
the problem is
lasted
not
4 hours. The Ole Miss Missouri game tonight went 4 hours. Think about that.
It was really long. It was a long game. It was a long game. The Air Force game was over. I think it was early fourth quarter of the Ole Miss game. So man, cover Service Academy football. You get to watch real student athletes, and the games will be over faster.
Yeah.
Boom.
I don't.
However,
I don't know that it's quite as profitable.
That's what I was about to say. As I have found, the coverage out there and the interest level is significantly lower. So you guys probably couldn't make as much money.
Hey, appreciate the call. Thanks. Someone wants a Matt Morrell update. I don't have one yet. I'll get one tomorrow.
Oh, what?
Matt Morrell, he's the 4-star basketball player taking a visit this weekend. I'll get an update tomorrow. I mean, it's an official visit. Official visits go well. Everybody loves it. It's happy. I'll find out more tomorrow.
Okay. Arizona 4-1, Washington 4-2. Probably could have got some pretty good odds on Arizona having the better record through 5 or 6 weeks.
Kevin Sumlin,
for whatever that's worth.
Isn't that Kevin Sumlin's team? He's there now.
Kevin Sumlin's team. Yeah, was Rich Rodriguez's team. Now it's Kevin Sumlin's team.
Yeah.
Jacob Eason on the other side.
Jacob Eason wearing a mustache.
Who do we have on the line? Anybody? Oh, they hung
I hear
up.
those are fashionable now. Mustaches.
Mustaches are fashionable.
I like the mustaches where one side is bushy and the other side is very thin.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Where are you getting that from?
I was just thinking about it out loud.
That's not actually coming in from somewhere. Who do we have on the line?
Delta Reb.
What's up,
Hey,
Delta
how are you?
Reb?
I'm all right, man. Hey, I guess I'm a little lagged behind on this stream, but I want to get your thoughts on Georgia getting beat today.
Well, we gave some love to Boom at the beginning because Neil has to give love to Boom in the beginning. Even though he divorced him, he's been criticizing him for months and weeks and years on end. He's putting the glasses back on now. Neil looks like a
Love
CPA when he does that.
Yeah.
You kind of do.
Can you imagine coaching an entire game like this?
Either that or like a history professor. You might have been a history professor.
He kind of resembles Jeffrey Watt a little bit, if anybody knows him at Ole Miss.
I helped Campbell with a speech today that was history related.
Did you?
I did.
What was it on?
The Kennedy assassination.
You've dug deep into that.
Yeah.
That's like right up your alley. That's like making me have to like write one on serial killers.
Yeah, I was able to help her quite a bit.
Yeah.
No kidding. Hey, question. So the biggest thing I've noticed between the quarterbacks, I mean, obviously Corral has more arm strength. I mean, whatever. But the thing I've noticed that I think that hinders Plumlee more is the play calling or the scheme of passing plays. And I don't know. It seems like Luke gets most of the brunt of the criticism when it comes to that. But from what I've gathered from y'all, it seems like Rich Rod has the autonomy when it comes to play calling. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Autonomy on play calling?
Almost completely.
Yeah, like Rich Rod seems to have the overriding power on when it comes to scheme or play calling.
Yeah, 100%
and
yeah, completely.
And it just seems that like when Plumlee has a pass play, it's very limited, one side of the field, not a lot of options. And I know it's probably to help him, but it limits his effectiveness, at least in my opinion. And you saw some last week with some of those routes that got cut off short with Moore on third down. There's a lot of out routes, 5 to 8 yards. I don't know. It just seems to me that Luke is getting a lot of criticism on this, and I just when I look at it objectively, I think that whether or not he survives the next 2 or 3 seasons, whoever gets it after this is going to have a heck of a foundation to build on based off what he's done. But I just think Corral gets a lot of criticism, rightfully so, for accuracy, but Plumlee also gets criticism on his passing that is, I'm not so sure is fair because of some of the play calling that on passing downs is all I'm saying.
Yeah, look, it's Rodriguez's offense completely. The plan was for Matt Corral to be the quarterback all this season. The plan was for Matt Corral not to get hurt against Cal. I mean, that wasn't part of the plan. Yeah. And the problem with Plumlee in the offense is he's kind of feast or famine. He can make big plays with his feet, and he makes them routinely. But there are times when what you need is a 6-yard pass, and he can't drop back in the – number one, he's short. And they have to move him outside in the pocket, typically rolling to his right. That's where he's comfortable. And then sometimes he just can't make that throw. He just can't make it consistently. He throws it above the receiver. He throws it into the receiver's feet. There's just – from a passing game standpoint right now, and again, that's the key word, right now, he's limited. Now, does that mean he's going to be limited the rest of his career? No. Can he become a better passer? Of course. Can he become a more accurate passer? Of course. Can he become a better decision maker inside the passing game? Of course. Those are all things that have to happen, and it bears repeating, and we've said it a few times tonight. He is a true freshman. So he could very well improve in all of those aspects, keep his speed, keep his running ability, and be a superstar as a quarterback. But unless he develops the passing game portion of his quarterbacking skills, he's going to be limited. And when he's limited, the offense is limited, and it's very dependent on his running ability. And that was the case tonight when he was on the field.
Can't count on. No, my other question, and this is probably two-sided to some degree, but like the defense seems to do better when Plumlee is the starter because of the obvious of the past 3 years. We haven't had any time. I mean, they're having to run so many plays. I think because we run the ball and we take up so much clock with Plumlee, we're able to negate some of the negatives of our secondary. Whereas tonight, when we did run into some issues, run the ball, or the passing game slowed down, it exposed our defense. I mean, I kind of think, honestly, people are right that the 2 QB system benefits our defense today, but that's not sustainable. What do you think in the future we should, need to be addressed to better handle that?
Just create more depth on defense, frankly. I mean, you can manipulate it a little bit. I don't have a problem with the 2-quarterback system. I'm not. Given that if it's a package and you at least understand your roles and your niches, it's not as big of a deal as when we go, hey, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. I don't think necessarily this is a situation right here because of the way that Plumlee can do impact some games some different ways. But the way to do it is just defensive depth. I mean, Ole Miss is starting to do that. They're playing more kids. That's why this thing makes a little more sense. Frankly, they're just not making tackles defensively. When Ole Miss gets out of a mess gets in a mess defensively, it's because they're not making tackles. They missed 17 tackles last week against Vanderbilt in a game they only gave up 6 points.
They missed a lot of tackles tonight.
Yes, I'm saying. Yeah.
They did, 100%. I mean, I was really impressed with our freshman DBs. Lakia Henry looked awesome, but there were a lot of misses that could have slowed things up. But anyway, y'all, love the show. Super pumped about this, and thank y'all for taking my call.
Thanks for calling. Thanks.
We've been on for 2:09 at this point.
Wow.
Finally started calming down a little bit. Might be wrapping up a little bit here. Let's see. Sorry.
Jay says the hyphen bothers him. The hyphen does not bother me.
On the hand raise guys things?
It doesn't bother me at all.
All right. We'll take one more here.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe it's good. Hold on 1 second, caller. We'll wrap you in. I need to start memorizing these numbers a little bit from situations where that's relevant.
Southern Miss beat Troy.
Did they?
Air Force, a big winner over Fresno State.
Who's on with us? Who do we have on the call?
You got Anthony.
Hey, okay. Anthony, what's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Where are you?
Actually,
hold on, Anthony. Hold on. We'll get to your questions in a minute. Let us get ours out of the way. Where are you from?
Yes, sir. I am from Vicksburg, Mississippi, but I live in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay. What are you drinking tonight?
I am in the middle of a screwdriver.
Oh, that's good. What kind of vodka?
Yeah, I know. A little late.
No, it's not too late.
Classic Burnett's. The classic Burnett's. I take a lot of heat for it. Don't care.
So listen. I can't tell you where this happened because it would be sort of violating a source. But Chase and I a week ago had a screwdriver. And the screwdriver included some bitters. Have you ever put?
It was fantastic.
Have you put bitters in your screwdriver?
I have not.
Just regular Angostura bitters.
Well, let me tell you. I mean, hey, we're having a real serious conversation here for a minute. We'll get to your stuff in a minute, but I'm giving you some help right now. I had
no. I like this more. Let's go.
I had never put bitters in my screwdriver before, and last weekend, Chase and I were somewhere. I can't tell you where. It's private. We were somewhere where the person fixed us each a screwdriver. It was vodka and some orange juice.
A little bit of orange juice. It was a lot of vodka and a little orange juice, and then it was some bitters.
And several shakes of Angostura bitters, and those bitters were game changers. I'm just going to let you know that
it completely
right now.
altered the flavor profile.
Yeah, and Taylor DeCastro says Angostura or Peychaud. They were Angostura,
yes,
I think.
They were.
Though you could use the Peychaud bitters, and I think it would work fine.
Well, you've piqued my interest. I'll say that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna check this out. I know all about that. I did not know that the bitters would be something that would even be an option.
I didn't either.
I'm one of those guys. I get stuck in my ways, and so anytime anybody suggests something to me, I'm pretty much just write them off immediately. But with you guys, I'm gonna check this out.
Hey, real quick, time out. We're going to get to your question right now. Kenton wants to know my favorite brand of mezcal. I actually like the Casamigos, the George Clooney's, his brand of mezcal. It's very good.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. You're asking me where I am? I am in Jefferson City, Missouri.
Oh, you went to the game.
I was at the game. Just got back a little while ago. And I just wanted to say, like, that the feel of the game to me, it felt, it just felt like I felt like we kind of lost it. Not saying that they didn't play well or anything like that, but I just don't think that we played up to the ability that we could have. I think that fumble in the first half by Plumlee, I think that killed us, and then not scoring after that turnover were the two main things. All the other crap aside, I think those are the two main points in the game where. Now, granted, I hadn't heard. I didn't listen to the first however long y'all been on. But the feeling in the stadium and among us sitting there, we felt good. Like it felt good until that we got that interception and didn't convert after that. I'd also like to speak on how much I hate sitting in a stadium and having to hear everyone's opinions. I'm pretty quiet during the game. And when I have a guy yelling press coverage, they're not pressing us. They're doing this, they're doing that. I find it hilarious, honestly. I was sitting there laughing the entire time. Everyone around, there's some guy yelling throw it, some guy yelling run it, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, guys, like it's fine. Like let them do their thing. But I mean, just to me, in a bigger picture, hearing everyone around me and hearing all of their comments is really funny. Because everyone is so upset about everything. No one agrees on everything. And I think it just speaks to a bigger picture about what y'all have been talking about for the past however many months. And that's just what I want to say. It's in the stadium, hearing these people talk about this stuff during a game, and everyone differing on you hear it from every single angle. I've heard it at every game I've been to. Everyone's upset about whatever we do, no matter what it is. And that's my point. If that makes sense, great. If not, cool. Got it.
Thanks.
I'm just saying, these people are animals, you know? I got one guy on my right here saying they're playing press coverage, throw it deep, and then when they back off, throw the slant, and then when it's incomplete, what the hell were you doing? And I'm just like, holy shit! Could someone make up their mind? It's out of control.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
He didn't ask a quarterback question.
No,
I appreciate it.
He did not. Oh my God.
You're all right over there?
Yeah, I should. I learned a lesson. Do not read the messages as you go. Oh my God.
This might create a whole new Friday Friday where Fridays just become calls.
It could easily. That's a thought.
I think we might get there.
Oh God. We get to have Christmas.
Yeah. All right. I think
we've covered it.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
We appreciate it really and truly hanging in with us this late. We're gonna keep doing it. We have some ideas even for when the team is not on the road. I think you guys like this. We'll keep getting this in our content. Make sure you don't miss any other content from the games and whatever else we're covering as well. I think it's gonna be really cool for basketball season too. I think it's one of the better things that we have in mind for basketball season. So we will got something?
No,
you looking at me?
I'm good.
Okay, a little over 2 hours there. Again, this will be a podcast, at least the first hour and 30 minutes, I guess. Something like that. Yeah, no recap here. No. We are done. So I'm going to try to find my way home. Neil's going to go to bed, and we'll talk to you on Monday. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys. This was a blast. We'll talk to you then.